I'm Anna, and I have a crazy story to tell you. But before I do, please like and subscribe. I grew up in an orphanage, and ever since I was little, I was surrounded with people who loved me. They said I had the prettiest blue eyes, and my smile could brighten up a room.
I'm sure you'll get adopted by someone amazing, and you'll live like a princess.
I wish, but I don't want to leave you guys too. I loved my life there, but I wanted a real family too. My wish came true when I turned 5, and a rich supermodel, Clara, adopted me. She traveled a lot for work, and I became favorite travel buddy. When I turned 16, I started a YouTube channel documenting all my travels, and within 2 years, it had more than 20 million subscribers. Life was great, but then one day, everything changed. I was in the cafeteria when my best friend Candace came running to me. We'd been friends ever since I got featured on her channel where she pranked people.
You've got to see this, Anna. There's a girl who looks exactly like you.
Candy, is this another one of your dumb pranks? I still haven't forgiven you for stuffing fear-fake spiders in my locker.
Girl, I'm not fooling around. Trust me. Now get up.
Just then, a girl swooshed past the crowd and hugged me, and when I saw her face, I almost passed out. We were identical. Holy mother of toads! Told ya!
It's really you, Anna.
Yeah, but who the heck are you, and why do you look like me? The girl told me her name was Jamie, and she was my twin sister. My head spun in 1,000 directions as I pulled her to the side to talk. Okay, tell me everything.
My parents. Our parents are from Hawaii, and that's where I grew up. It's a beautiful place. You should visit. Oh, wait. I'm sure you've already been there since you've been everywhere.
Get to the point, Jamie.
Sorry. So I didn't know I had a sister till I saw your videos. I am so happy to have found you.
How are you so sure I'm your sister? Maybe we're just two people who look exactly like each other.
When I saw you, I confronted our parents, and they told me that they gave you up because they couldn't afford 2 kids.
That makes no sense.
Listen, I get it. I look like a homeless person, and you're, well, a queen. I know it's difficult to trust me, but we can get a DNA test to confirm it.
And we did take the test. When the results came out, I was shocked. She really was my sister. I was happy and hurt at the same time. The next few days, Jamie and I hung out a lot. She told me she was here on scholarship and was living in some shabby hostel. So I asked Clara if she could live with us.
I don't know. I mean...
Please, please. You're so busy these days, and I could use some company.
But you hardly know her.
She is my sister. Clara eventually caved and Jamie moved in. We set up a room and stayed up all night, talking. Slowly, we got close, and Jamie even helped me shoot my videos. One day we were shooting in the schoolyard when Liam, the hottest guy in school, walked up to me.
Wow, and here I thought you couldn't look prettier.
Yeah, says the guy who has the whole town drooling over his looks. Did you get a new haircut?
She noticed.
As Liam left, Jamie smirked at me.
You totally like him.
No, I don't. I mean, he's cute and all, but I don't know. We've been friends for so long.
Okay, that was a total lie.
I've had the biggest crush on Liam, but I wasn't sure if he liked me that way, so I kept my feelings to myself till I found a good time. The next few weeks, I took Jamie with me everywhere, and Candace wasn't too thrilled.
She's always around. It's annoying.
Give her some time. You'll warm up to her. Now let's get this video started. Our fans are waiting. Just then, Jamie walked in with drinks, tripped on the cords, and sent the soda splashing all over the computer screen.
Get off me. You ruined everything. Do you know how much money went into the system?
I'm sorry. Please don't worry. Be mad. I slipped. Just tell me what you want me to do. I'll get a job and replace all of this. Should I sell my phone? I'll even sell my hair. Oh shoot, can't I just...
Jeez, Jamie, chill out. Accidents happen. Candy, I'll replace your stuff. Let's not make a big deal out of this. Candace left angrily, and Jamie cried all day until I took her out for ice cream, and she finally shut up. We even decided to stay home that weekend because Jamie was so bummed out. But then Liam invited me for a party, and I couldn't say no. I asked Jamie to tag along, and she reluctantly agreed. But my jaw dropped when I saw her dressed up. Wow, you look well like me.
It's nice, right? I wanted to make an impression as your sister. Can't let your reputation stink just because I do.
Don't say that. You look great. We were having a blast at the party, and And thankfully, Candace was in a good mood, and she and Jamie made up. I was getting some drinks when Liam tapped on my shoulder.
I'm glad you showed up.
How could I not? It's your party.
Listen, I've been wanting to tell you something, but I was waiting for the right time. I like you, Anna. Like, a lot. And something tells me you like me too.
Liam,
Anna, we have to. Oh my god. I'm interrupting something, right? I'm so stupid. Are you mad at me? I think you are. Maybe I should leave. Orient. No. Wait. I don't have a car or money for a cab. It's okay. I'll hitchhike with some stranger. Hopefully he won't be a kidnapper or a weirdo.
Oh my god, Jamie. You know what? Let's just leave together. I'll talk to you in school. Liam? We left, and I couldn't help feeling annoyed with Jamie. But when we reached home, Jamie's phone rang, and she went to take the call. But when she came back, I could tell she was crying. What's wrong?
Our parents want me to pull out of school and come back home immediately. You know, Anna, I've never had a friend because Mom and Dad just wouldn't let me leave the house. I hate them. They're crazy.
It can't be that bad, Jamie. They chose you over me, so I guess they do love you. I just wish I could ask them why they had.
That's it. We should switch places. You'll get your answers and I'll get some time to think about how to convince them to let me stay here.
I don't think that's a very good idea.
Sure it is. Aren't you even a little bit curious about them?
I was curious about my parents, and maybe going as Jamie wasn't a bad idea. But I couldn't tell Clara. What if she didn't like the idea of me meeting my birth parents? And definitely not Candace, because she would just talk me out of it. We decided to do the switch over the weekend since Clara was out of town. Soon, I was on a plane to Hawaii, and when I reached Jamie's house, I kind of teared up seeing my birth parents, but they looked terrified.
Quick, come inside now before someone sees you.
Hello? No, hi, how are you?
Oh, I really hope no one saw you. Just go and clean up and we'll talk.
That was weird. I figured out which room was Jamie's and started to unpack. I was just wondering what to say to them when they walked in.
Jamie, how are you? Are you okay? We wanted to talk to you about that money, but you're probably tired. Let's do it in the morning. Here's some food.
With that, Mom put the plate on the floor and ran faster than a bullet. Jamie was right. These people were crazy. I wanted to confront them immediately, but I was too tired and fell asleep. But the next morning, I woke up to loud banging noises.
We know she's in there.
Open
up. You can't hide her forever.
What's happening? Guys?
You shouldn't have come back. Jamie, why are you here?
Stop yelling. And I'm not Jamie. I'm Anna. You know, the daughter you once had.
What? Did you stop your medication again? Just go inside and let us handle these people.
My birth parents went outside to calm the crowd. An hour later, we sat down and I told them everything. About me being Anna, them being my real parents, the adoption, everything. They looked completely stunned.
Anna, this is not true. It is true that Jamie's our daughter, but she's adopted.
What do you mean? You're not my birth parents.
We took Jamie in when she was just 2, and the adoption agency did tell us she had a twin. But we could only adopt one kid, and she was really sick, so we decided to take her in.
We loved her and did everything to make her happy, but she was always looking for more. She stole from us and borrowed from everyone in town and never paid anyone back.
That explains all the angry people this morning.
Yes, we had to sell whatever we had to pay them back, but it wasn't enough. When she told us she wanted to go to New York to study, we thought maybe she'd changed for the better. But now you're telling us she found you and she's in your home.
She's not fine. Anna, you need to go back now.
I immediately packed my stuff, but as luck would have it, Hawaii got hit by a hurricane. Thankfully, it was a small one, and flights were cleared to go after 2 days. I tried reaching out to Clara, but she was shooting in a remote location and my calls weren't going through. Just then, I saw in my Insta stories that Candace was having a party and Jamie was there too. So I headed there. But when I reached the party, my heart fell to my stomach watching Liam making out with freaking Jamie. Get off him, you freak!
Oh my god. You're back. I thought you were gone for good.
What have you gone completely crazy? Jamie,
I'm Anna.
no, you're not. I am...
Really? Then why are you dressed like that? Babe, make her leave, please.
Candy, you know me. I'm Anna.
Okay, Jamie, you need to leave before I call the cops. Anna told us how you stole from her and how she kicked you out. You can't make a fool out of me.
Clearly not, since you're already acting like one. Candace pushed me away, and I was shocked beyond words. Crushed. I went home only to find out that Jamie had told the guards not to allow me in my own house. This was officially the worst day of my life. Thankfully, I had my credit card, so I booked a hotel room. The next day in school, I was stunned to see that Jamie had taken over my life completely and had all my friends wrapped around her fingers. I had to do something to expose her before it got any worse. So I set my phone to record and waited until Jamie was alone. Do you really think you can pull this off? No one will believe you.
Jamie, please. What do you want from me? Stop torturing me.
She took the phone from my pocket and threw it away, breaking it to pieces.
Don't act smart with me, or I'll be your worst nightmare.
Jamie smirked and left. I had to outwit her. But how? No one believed me. I skipped school for the day and went back to the hotel. Just as I put my bag down, someone knocked on my door. Clara.
Anna, thank God you're okay. I just landed and tried to call you, but I couldn't get through. Then I saw you'd used your credit card and booked a place here.
Jamie, I'm sorry, Mom. I should have listened to you and not trusted Jamie at all. Clara calmed me down and I told her everything. I thought she'd scold me, but instead, she hugged me and took me home. She even told the guards not to allow Jamie in and informed Jamie's parents. Obviously, that didn't go down well with Jamie.
What is happening? I did you a favor by not throwing you in jail for robbing me, but after this...
What? You'll tell everyone that I'm you and you're me? You can fool my friends, but you cannot fool my mom or your own parents. Suddenly, Jamie saw her parents walk in and turned white as a sheet.
Is this some kind of joke? Who are these poor people? Get off me.
Jamie, let's go home. Honey, enough of this.
What home? This is my home.
Listen, girl, you're not my daughter. So pack your stuff and leave, or I'll call the police.
Jamie tried to protest, but she knew it was pointless. She left soon after, and I didn't press charges. I only wanted my life back, and jail time would have ruined Jamie's life. She was a witch, but she was still my sister. A week later, I went back to school, and Candace walked up to me.
Baby, I'm so sorry. I should have known.
It's cool. I just wanted to get past everything. Candace and Liam apologized, and a few months later, Liam and I started dating. He even joined me on my travel adventures. And things went back to normal, or so I thought. A year later, I was in Italy with Liam for a shoot. It was pretty late when I got to the hotel, but as soon as I entered, I realized someone was in my room. My blood froze to see Jamie grinning at me. How? How did you get in?
We're identical, remember? It wasn't difficult to get the master key from the manager. Tell me, are you enjoying living my life?
What do you want?
I want what's rightfully mine. I should have been the one adopted by a rich family, but instead I got thrown into a dump. While you're living like a princess, you have everything. The big house, the perfect mom, the golden boy. That's just not fair, is it?
Jamie stared at me with murder in her eyes. I tried to say something, but words just fell out of my mind. Suddenly, I heard a huge crash, and Liam rushed in with the police.
Are you okay, Anna?
Liam told me how someone on the hotel staff had seen Jamie come in, and then I walked in. 5 minutes later,
They were confused and called me. Since you weren't answering, it wasn't hard to guess it was Jamie.
He's lying. I am. Anna.
enough! Stay away from my guy and my life. I can't believe I ever called you my sister. You psycho! Rot in jail for a long, long time. The police took Jamie away and I never saw her again. It took me a while to get over the episode, but with therapy and support from friends and family, I'm better and thriving.
While Mom was at work, I crept into her bedroom and searched her closet and all her drawers for evidence of something. I lifted up a blanket from her bed and almost had a heart attack. Hi, I'm Nancy from China. See, my mom, she was the prettiest girl in our whole town. She literally won the Chinese beauty pageant 5 years in a row and became rich from it. Everyone would stop her in the streets to tell her how beautiful she was. Best of all, Dad adored Mom to bits and was always showering her with gifts. And then I was born.
Oh, darling, she looks exactly like you. Same lips and cheeks.
You and Nancy should compete in pageants together when she gets older.
Well, that's exactly what we did. When I was 3, Mom and I competed in duo pageants, winning every time and soaking out the glory. Then one day, when I was 10, I was in my dressing room when I heard Mom had to be rushed to the hospital.
What's going on? Is she hurt?
It's her skin. It's become completely wrinkled and inflamed. The doctors think she has a rare and untreatable condition.
What do you mean untreatable? I want to see my mom. Now!
No, Nancy, the pageant is in 3 minutes. You'll have to go on without her.
I was totally powerless, but I did end up winning first prize. Sadly, everyone was too depressed to celebrate. Mom looked like a freaking 80-year-old with red lumps on her face.
It's obvious. I won't be able to compete with you anymore. Look at me.
Mom! Don't talk that way. Hell will always be beautiful in my eyes.
Oh, spare me. Nancy, I don't want your pity. I felt so awful.
And as I continued competing in pageants, people constantly compared me to my mom, especially my grandma.
It's heartbreaking what happened to my daughter's skin. It's too upsetting for me to visit her these days. At least you look the way she used to.
Their comments made me furious. I could feel Mom's growing resentment. Worst of all, the tension was affecting my parents' relationship, and they started fighting all the time. Finally, when I was 16, my parents divorced. Mom got custody since she'd been my primary caretaker, and it was then I decided I'd had enough.
I don't want to be in pageants anymore, Mom. I only did them in the first place because of you. And I don't like how bitter and jealous you get every time I compete.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Why would I be jealous of my own daughter?
Gee, good question. All I know is it just got worse as I got older.
I quit pageants, and then Mom decided to move to the US, which was a big adjustment. And as soon as we settled, she became even more of a nightmare to be around.
That's a disgusting amount of makeup.
But I'm just wearing lip gloss.
Well, you're wearing too much for a girl your age. Wash it off right this second. I don't understand how you can eat all those pancakes and not blow up like a balloon.
Enjoy it while you can. Luckily, my new school became much happier than my home life. One day at school, I asked around to see if I could get an English tutor, since I still wasn't comfortable with the language. All the kids recommended the same guy, someone named Gavin.
He tutors for volunteer hours so it won't cost you anything.
Plus, he's gorgeous. Every girl at school has a crush on him.
Oh, well, I'm not looking to date at the moment. I just want to pass my classes.
But when I met Gavin in the library that day, my heart skipped 10 beats. He looked like a storybook prince. How could I concentrate on homework with that smoke show up in my space?
Are you okay? Your cheeks are bright red and you look adorable.
I do not look adorable. I mean, can we get to work, please? My homework isn't going to do itself.
We sat down to study, and I had to admit, Gavin was as brilliant as he was handsome. But when I started doing my math homework, he kept staring at me with his twinkling dark eyes, which made me nervous.
So are you free to go out this weekend?
Excuse me? I don't want to go out at all. You're just here to tutor me.
I know, but I can't fight my attraction for you. I've never believed in love at first sight until now.
Seriously, does anyone fall for your cringy pickup lines?
Face it, Nancy. I'm smart, I'm funny, and I have great hair. You won't be able to resist me for long.
I couldn't help rolling my eyes at that. Maybe I should get a new tutor. Except that same week, I ended up getting an A on 2 exams.
See, I don't disappoint. Now will you go out with me?
Just because you helped me get a good grade doesn't mean I owe you anything.
Come on, just one date.
With that, Gavin pulled out 2 tickets from his pocket, and holy crud, they were too astounding. Sasha Concert, my favorite singer.
I've been saving these for someone special, Nancy.
Okay, I'll go, but only because I'm a huge Sasha fan. But this is not a date.
The night of the concert, Gavin came to pick me up at 6. But the second Mom saw him, she looked furious and pulled me aside.
Where do you think you're going with that boy?
To Sasha's concert. I already told you I was going with a friend.
Please, do you really expect me to believe Mr. Heartthrob here is just a friend? He'll break your heart just like your father broke mine. You're not going to that concert.
But Sasha's my favorite singer, and you and I both know Dad didn't do anything wrong.
That comment made Mom so angry that she sent Gavin home and me up to my room. I was so mad I was shaking. Then suddenly I heard a noise from my bedroom. It was Gavin.
Hey, I think I'm stuck. You're gonna have to give me a hand.
Oh my God, are you trying to crawl into my room?
Well, you want to go to that concert, don't you? You said you're a huge fan, and if you can fit through this door, you probably won't get.
My heart fluttered as he smiled up at me. There wasn't any harm in going on a date with him, was there? So I crawled over and we went to the concert, and we're running over an hour late.
This is all Mom's fault. It's because of her. We left during rush hour. She's becoming even more of a train wreck since the divorce.
Your parents are divorced? Wow, small world.
Your parents are divorced too?
Well, Actually, Mom left us a couple of days ago. She met some guy at work and is leaving my dad to be with him.
Wow, immense. So sorry.
It's fine, I'll get through it.
Gavin didn't seem to want to talk about it anymore. The concert was almost over when we arrived. But Gavin has an idea.
If we stood here, we would have time to listen to the last song.
The last song was a slow one, and I closed my eyes, swaying my shoulders in the wind.
I know your mom isn't perfect, but you sure are beautiful like her.
Ugh, I hate it when people compare me to my mom. Can I be my own person? I'm more than just a pretty face.
I know that. You also have pretty hair.
I slapped him right then, and he leaned in for a kiss. I felt fireworks between us. Then suddenly Gavin pulled away.
No, I can't do this.
What do you mean?
I don't want to fall for you. I'm scared of getting hurt. I don't want what happened to my parents to happen to us.
Dude, we're in high school. I'm gonna run off with some other guy. Your parents' failed relationship doesn't mean you have to live in fear.
But Gavin just said taking me to the concert was a mistake and started driving me home. I felt like such an idiot. Thankfully, Mom was in bed when I got home, and I fell asleep with no trouble. Then, at around 5 a.m., I felt someone's hands on my head. It was Mom.
Nancy goes back to sleep.
At that second, I spotted a pair of scissors in her hands.
What are you doing with those? And why are you holding a strand of my hair? Are you cutting my hair in my sleep?
I just need a couple of strands.
What? Why?
Please don't ask questions.
No, I will ask questions. You can't just cut my hair in my sleep without telling me why.
Watch your tone, young lady. I'm not doing anything wrong here. You need to learn to respect your elders and bite your tongue.
Mom stormed out of my room and slammed the door. She grounded me for a week, but I wasn't gonna let her scare me. While Mom was at work, I crept into her bedroom and searched her closet and all her drawers for evidence of something. Then finally, I lifted up a blanket from her bed and almost had a heart attack. On her bed was an open cardboard box with a pile of my hair strands. How long had she been collecting my hair? I wasn't sure what she was gonna do with it, but I knew one thing for sure. I needed to get away from her. I thought about booking a flight to China to go back and live with Dad. Except what if he didn't allow me to? The next day at school, I was in the library, when suddenly I saw Gavin sitting across from me reading a book. Oh darn, I'd forgotten to cancel our tutoring sessions.
Nancy, hey!
Hi, look, I won't be needing any more tutoring sessions. I'm moving back to China.
Wait, what? You're leaving?
Yes, and I don't know when I'll be back. You made the right choice not to kiss me at the concert. We would have both ended up hurt. Everyone I've ever been close to in my life has done me wrong or got separated from me. You were right to protect your heart, Gavin.
He stared at me with sad eyes, and I couldn't bear being around him anymore. I went back to the house so I could secretly pack my bags and leave home. But that night, Mom knocked on my door.
Do you have a minute?
What's going on? What's in that box?
Your 18th birthday is tomorrow, so I made you a present.
Oh man, my birthday. I'd completely forgotten. What's this?
You asked why I was collecting strands of your hair. Well, it was to make a quilt with something called dong tai hair embroidery. It's an old Chinese practice. You sew hair strands onto a piece of white silk. My grandmother started a tradition where a mother would embroider a piece, pass it down to their daughter, who would continue the work and keep working on it until it was finished. Then the next daughter in line would receive the quilts as a gift. And that's you.
I was shocked. Mom hated me. There was no reason she'd want me a part of any family tradition.
I don't even remember the last time you gave me any presents, let alone something like this.
Well, it's your 18th birthday, and it's an old family practice. My mother used to tell me back when we were close that she wanted me to continue it. And you are my daughter after all.
Mom hugged me awkwardly, and I tried to feel happy. Maybe I didn't have to run away from home after all. My mother loved me, but I still couldn't sleep that night. I felt in my gut something was off, that Mom didn't give me that blanket for the reasons I thought she did. Suddenly, I heard voices coming from the other room that sounded like a FaceTime conversation.
I can't believe you made me go through all that work to give Nancy that dung tie blanket. She barely even said thank you. I shouldn't even have to ask you to pass that blanket down to your own daughter. I had to offer to take Nancy for the summer so you'd agree to do it, like I haven't already passed down enough to her. Nancy is prettier than I ever was and won more pageants than I ever did. I did what you told me. I gave her the stupid quilt. What more do you want from me?
Well, that all made more sense. Of course, Mom hadn't changed. And of course, she hadn't grown to love me. I refused to speak to both her and Dad that week. And one night, after Mom went to sleep, I threw the dung tie quilt into the fire with my strands of hair and 2 generations worth of work. At school, I still saw Gavin, but I avoided him too. After all, I told him I was leaving the country on the last day of the semester. I was taking my finals, but I was panicking because I didn't know any of the answers. I tried to calm myself with deep breaths, when suddenly some kids ran in.
Miss Benson, someone broke into your car.
And that's when Gavin walked in and sat next to me.
We only have like 2 minutes tops. Give me your test. I'll finish it for you.
No, Gavin, I can't ask you to do that.
But he'd already taken my test and was filling in the answers.
Why was he helping me?
So obviously you didn't move to China in the end.
No, not yet, but I still might, just to get away from everything and everybody. I don't understand, Gavin. Why did you do this for me?
Because I still care about you. I know I wasn't ready to kiss you that night at the concert, but part of me regrets that.
Really?
Yeah. I don't want my parents' divorce to scare me away from falling in love. You told me that night, nothing is worth living in fear for.
Gavin pulled me close and I felt my heart skip a beat.
Maybe you're right, Gavin. Because my mom didn't know how to love me doesn't mean there aren't other people out there who do.
You mean, like me?
Slow down, buddy. We're not there yet.
I leaned over and kissed him right then. For the first time in ages, I walked home feeling happy. But when I entered the house, I found Mom sitting in front of the fireplace crying.
I can't believe you burnt the family quilt, a 3-generation quilt.
It wasn't a 3-generation quilt because you were never gonna pass it down to me. You only did it because Dad told you to. You know what? I'm done putting up with this. I'm moving out of this house. I'm not gonna live with you anymore.
That summer, Dad let me stay with him in China, as he promised, and Gavin and I applied to the same college and got in. Even after returning to the US, I didn't see Mom, and I also blocked her phone number. But one night at college, I was awake studying when I got a freaking message from Mom on TikTok begging me to call her.
Oh, honey, I'm so glad you called. I've been wanting to talk to you and make amends for a while.
Too late for that. Mom, I really don't have time to talk. I have midterms tomorrow.
Nancy, you didn't let me finish. I've been seeing a therapist and working through my issues. I want to be better. I want a fresh start.
Well, I am glad to hear you're finally getting help. I know you've been suffering for a while, but I can't just forget the way you've treated me all those years. Maybe one day I can forgive you. I just don't know when that'll be.
I understand. Well, if you ever do want to start over, my home is always open to you. I love you, and I'm sorry about everything.
Thanks, Mom. I've always wanted to hear those words from you. Hi, friends. My name is Anna, and I'm from LA. Before I tell you my story, please like and subscribe. I used to live in a tiny apartment with my dad, but he wanted to give me everything in the world.
Sweetheart, I promise you I'll give you the world. You'll have everything that I didn't have in my childhood. I will make you so happy.
But Daddy, I am so happy. See, Dad fulfilled his promise and worked hard. He became one of the most successful businessmen in the country, and I couldn't be prouder. Dad loved spoiling me. He'd get me all the latest gadgets, collectible Barbies, and I even had a theme park inside our mansion. I had everything and lived the life of a princess. But there was just one thing missing. My mom. Ever since I was a little girl, I was so curious about my mom, and whenever I'd ask him about her, he'd tell me how it was her loss that she left us. On my 5th birthday, Dad threw us the most lavish party ever. He went totally overboard and had ponies and even hot air balloons. I was having a wonderful time with my friends, but when I was in the jumping castle, a kid was being super pesky and kept bumping into others. When he pushed me, I pushed him back, and he ended up falling out of the jumping castle in an instant. His mom came running and hugged him so tight.
Oh my God, my dear, are you hurt?
She then glared at me and said,
If your mom hadn't left you, maybe she could have taught you some manners.
I felt so crushed. Even though it was that kid's fault, and he wasn't hurt bad, his mom was so worried she lovingly swept him into her arms and left. It was at that moment I realized that leaving me was not my mom's loss, but mine. And then I ended up throwing the worst tantrum ever. When Dad brought my giant cake out, I kicked the table. I don't want this. I want my mommy. Daddy, give me my mommy. Everyone was stunned to see me acting out, and then the party was over. Later, when Dad came to tuck me into bed, he gave me a gift.
I wanted to give you this when you were older, but I know you need it now.
It was a locket with a picture of my mom. It was the first time I was seeing her picture, and it made me so happy. Every night, I kissed her picture and vowed to find her someday. Mommy, one day when I grow up, I promise I'll find you, and I'll be so good you'll love me. One time I was at school, and we were going for swimming lessons. The teacher asked everyone to remove any watches and jewelry we were wearing, but I just couldn't remove Mom's locket. Teacher, can I keep my locket on, please?
Why?
It's the only thing I have of my mom. I never take it off. Hearing this, the teacher squeezed me into a hug, and all the kids looked at me with such sad eyes.
Oh, I am so sorry, Anna. I didn't know. My heart aches for you. Sweetie, you can keep wearing that locket.
After that day, everyone seemed kind of extra nice to me in class. They'd offer me the best seat during lunch. Everyone wanted to sit with me and would even share their lunch with me.
Anna, try this. My mom made it especially for you. When I told her about your mom, she so wanted to cook this for you.
Okay, thanks a lot. Even in class, the teachers were extra sweet to me. One time, we were having a test, and I just coughed, and my teacher went all emotional on me saying that I didn't need to take the test.
Okay, that was awesome because I wasn't prepared.
With a smile, I left the class, but during lunchtime, Bella came over to me. She was like the meanest girl in our school.
Anna, don't you get sick of your sob story every time? It's, I don't have a mommy. Always taking sympathy from teachers and other kids. You're such a drama queen. No wonder your mommy ran away from you.
God, her words made my blood boil, but it also hurt me so much I felt I would start crying. But just then, someone spoke. It was Isaac, the scholarship student at her school.
Come on, Bella, you have your entire life to be a jerk. Why not take off today? Leave her alone.
Bella just rolled her eyes and checked her nails.
You know, Isaac, you and Anna, you're both pretty much alike. She uses her mommy story, and you use your oh I'm so poor story so people will have pity on you. So pathetic. That did it.
I never wanted anyone's sympathy or pity. Without even thinking twice, I grabbed Bella's hair, and then she did too. We both were fighting like crazy. Later, we were taken to the principal's office. I was expecting to get detention, but she only punished Bella, and that really pissed me off. Why didn't I get punishment? I also pulled her hair.
Anna, we know you're a good student. Bella has had many complaints against her. It's time she faces the consequences of her actions. I am going to expel her.
Whoa! I knew the principal was taking pity on me. I stormed out of the office, but was totally surprised to see how many kids gathered outside looking at me with gooey eyes. Is everything all right? Why are you guys looking at me so weirdly?
Weirdly? Anna, it's pure adoration. You saved us. You're like the first girl to show Bella her place. It was so cool.
The look on her face felt like a cherry on top of a cake. Okay, I sure wasn't expecting this. After that day, Isaac would follow me around everywhere. Not just Isaac, but so many other kids too. They treated me like some sort of leader, and I was in no way a leader. All the time I would be getting praises and compliments, and it was kind of getting on my nerves.
Oh, Anna, your skin. It's so beautiful.
Anna, can you teach me how you solve that math equation? I know you study smart instead of studying hard. I don't want to be like you.
Since I liked music, there was one time in art class, I was just humming a song when all of a sudden Isaac put me in the spotlight.
Oh my god, that was the sweetest voice I have ever heard. Come on, guys, let's hear it from Anna.
No, zip it, Isaac. But then everyone started chanting my name like I was some pop star. Even the teachers mustering all my courage. I sang, and everyone clapped so loud for me. Okay, that was weird because I was just a normal singer, nothing extraordinary, but everyone treated me as if I was something special. As if things couldn't get any weirder, my classmates chose me as the class president. The surprising thing was that I never participated. I didn't have any clue how to be a class president, but Isaac was there for me. Turned out he was a really nice guy and helped me every step of the way. Isaac and I became best friends. The guy was totally my support system, always there for me. When we were in high school, Isaac started working in a cafe as a barista, and I loved hanging out there. One time when I was at the cafe, Isaac made his signature coffee for me. But just then, I saw someone enter the cafe, and I dropped the cup. It was Mom. I could recognize her face in a million faces. She had 2 kids with her, and the moment Isaac saw her, he greeted her and called her Emily. I felt like my whole world was standing still. I came out of my stupor when I saw one of her kids run out of the shop, and that's when I bolted. Hey, stop, get back in here. No. The kid just stuck out his tongue at me and was about to run onto the road, but thank God I lunged forward. I grabbed his shirt and pulled him back, and right then a truck passed by. That was close, really close. Right then Mom came out and thanked me.
Oh my God, thank you so much. You saved my baby. You're an angel.
No problem. I just turned to leave, but Mom grabbed my shoulder. I thought she'd recognize me, but it was something else.
So you work here? You seem like someone who can handle kids. Can you babysit my boys? I'll give you a letter of recommendation once you're done. I'll pay you well too.
Oh my God, how could I say no to that? I instantly agreed. I started working at Mom's place, and it had been 3 days, and I totally loved it. She lived in a big mansion, but that was nothing compared to where Dad and I lived. I was pretty amazed to see Mom's life. She loved makeup and posted her videos on Instagram, and her husband seemed like a nice guy who really loved her. Every night before leaving, I would see Mom tucking the twins into bed. She would snuggle them and shower them with kisses. It was adorable, but it always made me feel a tad bit jealous. In a few weeks, the twins and I started to get along just fine, and Mom was so happy, telling me how they never liked babysitters, but had started to love me. Why wouldn't they? I was their big sister. There was one time Mom had to go out, and when she returned, I was totally drained, and she felt bad for me.
Oh, honey, I am so sorry I got late today. I'll pay you extra today. And what have the twins done to your hair? Come on, I'll give you a makeover. Have you looking like a supermodel?
Makeover? Wow, I would love that. Mom then put on some light makeup and did my hair just like she did hers. But once she was done, she looked at me so shocked I wondered why. And looking at my reflection in the mirror, I knew the answer. I looked just like her. I wish you would notice how much we were alike. Notice me?
Wow, you are a very pretty girl.
Just like you. I mean, of course, you did my makeup and hairstyle like yours, so that's why I look so pretty.
Ah, perhaps. But girl, you are a natural beauty.
After that day, I felt like Mom's eyes were constantly on me. Every time I'd be doing something with the twins, I would catch her staring at me, and then she'd look away. I knew something was on her mind, but she never said anything. There was one time when Mom was making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for the twins and offered me one too. PB&J makes me puke. No way!
Really? Same. I hate them too. I didn't realize we're so much alike.
Yeah, perhaps. Mom looked at me for a few seconds and then blurted,
Anna, what's your father's name?
My heart started to beat so fast. Finally, she had realized who I was. But just as I opened my mouth, Mom's husband stepped in and kissed her, and I decided to talk to her later. But later that night, I heard noises from Mom's room. I was so worried and went upstairs, but what I heard broke my heart. Mom and her husband were arguing about Mom's first daughter.
You're telling me this now after all these years? You deceived me.
I was so young when I had her, but now things are different. I know I made a mistake.
Yes, a mistake. Mistakes are meant to be forgotten. Just forget her and focus on the now. Your family, your husband, and your boys.
That moment, I realized what I was doing. Mom was happy. She had the perfect life, the perfect family, the perfect husband, and I was ruining it all for my own selfish reasons. I just ran out of the house, and thank God Isaac was waiting for me outside. I instantly hugged him and told him everything. I just want to leave her alone. I can't do this. I can't shatter her perfect life.
But she's your mom too. It's your right to confront her.
Forget about it. Let's go home. That day when I went home, I gave Dad a tight hug. He truly was my world. I decided to get out of Mom's life and let her be, so I started to avoid her calls. She texted me and wanted me to come to her house, but I refused and messaged her saying I had a new job. But a week later, something strange happened. I was in my room when I heard Mom's voice. She was calling my name, and I came running down the stairs and was so shocked to see her. Dad and I both stood stunned, and then Mom came running and swept me into her arms.
Oh my God, I knew it. It's really you, my daughter, my Anna. That day I wanted to talk to you, but you left. Anna, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry for my mistakes. Why did you leave without talking to me?
Because I am a mistake. Mistakes are meant to be forgotten.
Oh, darling, please forgive me. I was a fool for thinking so. You are my strength. You are the person who made me a mother. It was foolish of me to abandon you, but I promise, even if I had to fight against the world, I'll never leave your side. I love you so much.
I love you too, Mom. I love you so much.
Hi, my name is Pippalook, and I'm from Greenland. Please like and subscribe. I was raised in a small village by my amazing single mom, who was a farmer. We didn't have a lot, but we were really happy. She was my best friend. Once, when I was 5, Mom and I were at a funeral when suddenly I yelled, "Ew! Mom, did you just fart?" As I turned around to look, Mom turned red.
Of course not. This child is so silly. I've never in my life.
You're such a liar, Mom. I hear you do it all.
Pippalook, stop it.
Stinky, liar, pants on fire. By now, everyone was roaring with laughter as Mom chased me around, and I ran ahead singing, "She farted! She farted!" I was in a lot of trouble later, but I realized something. I'd made people laugh, and I really enjoyed that. After that, I became the joker of the village. Mom thought I was hilarious too, as long as I wasn't joking about her. Once, when I was 14, I'd taken my cows out for grazing in the fields, when suddenly I saw a bird drop to the ground. I ran to it and saw that it was hurt. As I tried dressing its wound, 2 strange girls came running up to me.
Hey, cow dung! That bird is my prey, so back off! Yeah, do what my boss said.
You hit this poor creature? Pick on someone your own size, witch.
Okay, you asked for it!
And with that, she jumped on me and we broke into a fight. I kicked her in her stomach, and as she howled in pain, I ran to my cow and went back home. Soon after I got there, I realized the 2 had followed me. They started complaining to Mom that I'd beat them up. She started it!
Oh, you horrible girl! I think you burst my appendix. Yeah, Auntie. I saw how your daughter kicked my boss. Wait, I'll show you.
She took some steps back and ran straight to the mean girl, kicking her hard in the stomach.
Ow! You moron! Boss, I'm sorry. So sorry.
As the 2 ran out, Mom and I were laughing our heads off. What idiots! I found out later they were some city brats who'd come on a school trip to the village. Thank God I wouldn't be seeing them around again. A few days later, when I got back from school, I was surprised to see a big car outside our house. I stepped in to find a wealthy-looking man talking to Mom.
The doctors think it's safe for Pippalook to move back to the city now. I can never thank you enough for taking care of my child.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
Oh, Pippalook, how lovely. And grown up you are.
Who are you and what's going on? Mom! And what she said next turned my world upside down.
He's your real dad, Pippalook. And your real mum died soon after you were born. You had some mysterious disease, and the doctor said you had to be raised in the village till your teens. So your dad left you with me, and now he's here to take you.
You never thought of telling me this. And what am I? Another animal on your farm that you keep and give away whenever you like? I thought you were my mom.
I'm sorry, Pippalook, but you're not my real daughter. Your dad has been giving me money to take care of you, and now you must go with him.
Her words were a big blow to me. I had to leave, and I did with a heavy heart. But my dad seemed really nice, and I felt myself warming up to him. He dropped another bombshell on me, though. Apparently, I had a sister, too. Her name was Ani, and she was a year older than me. A few hours later, I arrived at my new home in the city, which was a huge mansion. As Dad led me inside, he told a servant to go get my sister, and when she walked in, I nearly had a stroke. It was one of the girls I'd met in the village, the mean girl's minion.
Cowdung, what are you doing here?
You 2 have met?
Yeah, I met Cowdung on a school trip. Why is she here, Dad?
Stop calling her that. Her name is Pippalook, and I told you I was getting your sister.
Yeah, but I thought you meant you were getting me a cute little puppy.
Dad warned her to be nice to me, but the minute he left the room, she whipped out her phone and called the mean girl.
Hello, boss. I've got some really gross news. Dad got me a sister, and it's Cowdung. Yeah, the same girl from the village. Okay, I'll keep reporting over and out.
Gosh, of all the people in the world, I had to have this mad girl as my sister. It was summer break, and school hadn't started yet. I thought I'd get to bond with Dad, but he wasn't around much. He was mostly away for work and would give us gifts when he returned. But otherwise, it was just me and Ani at home, and I tried to avoid her as much as possible. A few weeks later, Dad hosted a grand dinner for some guests, and it was the first time I'd ever been to a party like that. Suddenly, Ane came running in with some things Dad got on his last trip.
Dad, your gifts are always so cheap. Why did you get me a calculator when I asked for a new cell phone? You wait till I steal yours.
A cell phone won't change your math grade from an F, but a calculator might help you get a D. Now go away and let me introduce Pipaluk to everyone. Come here, love. Meet my daughter. Guys, this one's really smart.
For the first time, I felt bad for Ani. Dad had basically just called her dumb in front of everyone. A week later, I joined Ane's school, and as soon as we entered the building, she ran to her boss, whose name was Diana. She smirked when she spotted me.
Well, well, you turned out to be really lucky, didn't you? But don't think for a second that you actually belong here. You will always be the uncivilized monkey whose best friends are cows. Ha ha ha!
That's a compliment because cows are amazing. And yes, I'm quite lucky and rich enough to have a private zoo for donkeys like you. The kids standing around us snickered and Diana looked furious. Apparently, lots of people in school didn't like her because she was mean, and they warmed up to me instantly. I made plenty of friends in no time because I could always make people laugh. Soon, I found out about a stand-up comedy contest at school, and I immediately signed up. Just then, Ani came running and pushed me aside and wrote Diana's name on the sheet too. Jeez! The night before the show, I was rehearsing my script in my room when I noticed Ani peeking through the door. Hey, you can't steal my jokes for Diana!
As if she needs your jokes. She's gonna win anyway.
How can you be so sure?
My cat told me cats are really good at predicting the future.
Okay, then tell me something. Why do you like being Diana's minion? You're just as pretty and rich as she is.
Are you crazy? Diana's so much prettier than me.
Says who?
Diana does. She's been saying that since we were kids, and she would never lie to me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to practice my clapping for the show tomorrow.
This girl was mental, but I'd started to realize that she wasn't evil like Diana, just really dumb. On the day of the contest, I gave my best on the stage and got quite a few laughs. And then it was Diana's turn. She stepped up in front of the mic and said,
Hello, judges! Before I begin, I'd like to tell you that I'm the most beautiful comedy queen of the school!
Suddenly, Ane laughed out loud.
Ha ha ha! Wow, very funny!
Diana glared at her.
Where was I? Yeah, so all my friends say I have the best sense of humor.
Ha ha ha! Oh my god, what a joke! You're killing me, Diana!
And she laughed so hard she fell off her chair. Everybody started laughing too, and Diana looked super embarrassed. She screamed and jumped off the stage after Ane, who yelled,
Ah! What, boss? You told me to laugh!
But later, when the results were announced, I was declared the winner! I ran home happily to tell Dad, but he wasn't home as usual. So I called him up. Dad, you won't believe this. I got first place in the comedy contest. You should have seen how everyone loved it.
Oh, that's great, honey.
Yeah, it's Dad. Hello? Can you hear me? He just hung up the phone. At that moment, I really missed my mom. She would have been so proud of me. Probably not. She said I wasn't her daughter and made me leave. She wouldn't care either. As I was going to my room, I walked past Anie's room and saw her sitting on her bed, crying like a baby. Hey, what's wrong? Can I sit here?
Yeah, sit. But a little away from me because boss says cow dung stinks.
Oh, come on now, tell me. Why are you crying? It's about Diana, right?
Yeah, I did what she told me to. I laughed at her jokes to make her win, but now she's mad at me. She didn't even post my video on her TokTok account today.
What video and what account? She showed me Diana's TokTok account, where she uploaded Ane's videos, doing absurd things like standing on a table and doing a stupid dance, jumping like a frog on the street, even acting like Diana's puppy in one video. What the freaking fish? Diana has been using my sister as a joke to get followers. Don't you see the problem with this, Ane?
What? Diana's making me popular. Maybe I'll get so famous I'll be cast in comedy movies one day.
Ane was just watching the views on her videos and smiling. This Diana was a jerk, and I had to think of some way to teach her a lesson. And the very next day, I walked into the cafeteria with Ani, and we found Diana bragging loudly to a group of girls.
This is your first time going to France, loser. I've been there so many times. Actually, I was planning on seeing the fashion show in Paris this coming weekend, but my old grandma passed away last night. Ugh, just ruined my plans.
And Ani started to wail.
Oh my god, what? Granny died last night. But wait, I spoke to her this morning, when I called your house. This doesn't make any sense. and she said you guys were going to the village on the weekend.
As Diana's lie was caught and everyone started to laugh, she looked livid.
You don't know anything because you're a complete moron! Why can't you just keep your mouth shut?
Diana raised her hand to slap her, but I stepped in and pushed her back. Don't you dare touch my sister! Stay away from her! And you're not using her anymore for stupid videos or anything else, you black-hearted donkey! I knocked her down to the ground, and Annie jumped in too. While the two wrestled and screamed, I grabbed Diana's phone and deleted the TokTok account and all the videos. We got suspended for a few days for attacking Diana, but it was totally worth it. Dad wasn't mad at me when he found out, but he went totally bonkers on Annie.
You already don't do much to make me proud, and now you've gotten yourself suspended. I don't know what I've done to deserve a dumb daughter like you.
Aine went crying to her room and I felt terrible. Later that evening, I decided I'd talk to Dad about not being so mean to her all the time. I went into his study and he wasn't there, but I found his laptop open with an email from his lawyer that left me shook. The will left by Pipaluk's mother cannot be changed. She is the sole heiress of all her mother's wealth, and you as the stepfather get nothing. We will have to find some other way to get a hold of that orphan's money. Wait! Dad was my stepdad. My mother had left me money and he was trying to take it.
Why are you snooping around?
Can you explain this email, Dad? Or should I say stepdad?
Yeah. I'm not your father. Your mother left me for someone else and had you. But then they both died. And the police left you with me because there was no one else. I left you in the village with some poor woman who wanted a child so badly she didn't even take any money. I only brought you back because I needed you to sign some papers. But it looks like it's no use. So you can just go back to your idiot mother while I figure something out.
And what about my money? You can't have it.
Oh, yes, I can. And I will. What are you gonna do about it?
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. This man was pure evil. I ran upstairs and started packing my things. I wasn't staying here another minute. But as I was leaving, I heard police sirens, and there were cops at the door to arrest Dad for theft and fraud.
You called the police, Pipaluk?
No, I did. I heard everything you and Dad were talking about, Pipaluk, and then I snuck down to his study and sent his emails to the police.
How could you do this to your own father, Anne?
Because you're a crook. And you're not a good father either. My whole life you've told me I'm stupid and not good enough. Well, I deserve better than you. Take him away.
The cops took him away, and I turned to hug her tight. You're amazing, Anne.
But you're still leaving me to go with your mom, right?
No, I'm taking you with me. Mom said she took money to keep me, but I just knew in my heart that wasn't true. Your dad made her say that to make me leave with him. She's the most amazing mom, Annie. And she would love to have you too.
Are you sure?
100%. Let's go.
Hi, my name is Rose, and I'm from Germany. Please like and subscribe to Luna Avatar. I was born to parents who were rich, so rich that we had several maids, chefs, butlers, and drivers who worked around the clock for me and my crazy family. Dad was a genius on the stock trading platform, and Mom was Miss World in 1998. I loved my family, but they were so used to being spoiled that our entire lives revolved around money. Once when I was 7, I wanted to go camping. So Dad hired a set designer to create a camp set in our massive backyard. He also hired a weird mountain man to entertain us with stories and how to make a campfire.
Who wants to hear a bear story?
Yeah, I do. But my sister Lucy, who was 2 years older than me, had her head stuck in her phone. So our camping experience eventually got boring. And soon after, as I grew up, our family hardly spoke to each other. When I was at school, I was crowned the computer genius. Lucy was popular on social media, and we were both the hottest girls in school. Once when I was in 8th grade, 10 boys asked me and my sister out all at once. These boys were so lame and too desperate for our liking. Lucy and I had a checklist. The guys that we dated needed to be smart, rich, and hot. I wasn't worried so much about the rich part. I preferred intelligent guys, and in my school, all of them were rich but also total smurf brains. And then, one day when I was in the 11th grade, a new boy joined her school and took my title of computer genius. I was kind of jealous at first, but when he smiled at me, I melted, having a huge crush on him. Would you like to go out for ice cream sometime?
Will we be celebrating my new title in the school?
Don't rub it in. After that, Gregory and I became an item. He drove a Ferrari, and seemed much richer than my family because he lived in a mansion much bigger than mine. Once, when I was in the 12th grade, I decided to visit him at his house unannounced. And when I got to his house, his parents acted very weirdly. I'm here for Greg.
Oh, he's upstairs.
Okay, can I see him? When they finally let me in, I went to Gregory's room and found him busy with something on his computer. Greg?
What? Who let you in?
I'm sorry. I thought I would surprise you. He looked really angry.
I hate surprises. Don't ever come here without calling first.
I was so mad at him when I left. I felt like just breaking up with him, but then he came over to my house with flowers.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have snapped at you. Please forgive me.
I don't know. You acted so strange. What was more important than me?
I was actually planning a surprise trip for the both of us to Thailand.
I immediately forgave him. He was so romantic, and he obviously loved me since he was spending so much on me. We went to Thailand just for the weekend, and my parents liked Gregory, so they also trusted him while we were there. Gregory was all romantic at first, but then he changed when I wanted to go shopping.
Shopping for clothes? Did you bring your credit card to pay for all those clothes?
What? But you said to take whatever you want and you'll pay.
Yeah, but I didn't expect you to buy the entire store.
Lucky for me, I did have my dad's credit card and managed to pay for my stuff. But the next day, I woke up to a shock. Gregory was gone. He left a note along with my plane ticket back home. He broke up with me on a note saying, "Nice knowing you goodbye." What a jerk. I felt like my world was falling apart. Why would he break up with me this way? When I tried to call his number, it went to voicemail. I had to gather my strength and head back home, and maybe then find out why he suddenly just left. Could it be because of all the clothes I bought? But when I got back home, my family was on edge. Everyone was pacing up and down, and as soon as I entered, Dad rushed up to me.
Rose, where's my credit card? Someone hacked all my trading accounts using my credit card, which is linked to every other account. So, Rose, you have to tell me where that credit card is.
I was totally freaking out and tore my whole bag apart looking for that card. And then I asked Dad to take me to Gregory's house, and when we got there, his mansion was empty. Oh my God, Dad, I think Gregory took all our money. Dad looked at me silently. At first, I thought he was going to blame me since Gregory was my boyfriend, but all he did was remain quiet. But Mom and Lucy went berserk.
We are broke because of your scheming, scamming boyfriend.
How was I supposed to know he was a fraudster? He drove a Ferrari and you liked him, Mom.
Yeah, I did. But he was still your boyfriend. You should have analyzed his intentions.
And then Lucy looked at her phone and screamed like someone died. What happened?
The Wi-Fi isn't working. How am I supposed to post my selfies from this morning?
Oh, I was supposed to pay for that today, but not anymore. Girls, I'll be in my office. I have no idea how I'm going to fix this.
I felt like everyone blamed me for this. And after 2 weeks, all our maids, chefs, butlers, drivers, gardeners, and pool cleaners quit because we couldn't pay them. Dad soon started investigating the matter, which was going to take some time, so we all had to adapt to some changes in our overly expensive lifestyle. We managed to keep the house, and since Dad paid our school fees for the entire year, Lucy and I didn't have to change schools, which was a relief.
Okay, so at school nobody knows we're poor, so let's just try and keep it that way.
Of course, why would I want anyone to know that we're poor? Maybe because it's
all your fault.
I am sick and tired of everyone in this family blaming me for everything. That's just so much pressure. I started crying and Lucy felt bad and apologized.
Okay, I'm sorry, but our life just sucks so much right now.
While we sat sulking about our poverty-stricken life, we heard Mom scream from the kitchen.
Somebody help.
Lucy and I ran down to the kitchen and found the stove on fire and Mom trying to put it out with a tablecloth, and it was reaching for the ceiling.
Ah, it won't stop quickly. Get some water.
While Lucy thought a glass of water would help, I brought the fire extinguisher and thank God was able to put out the fire. But now our entire kitchen was ruined and there was smoke all over the place. We gotta sit outside until the smoke is gone. Come on. We all sat outside on the stairs and Mom was in tears telling me how she was trying to cook but ended up ruining the kitchen.
I guess we'll have to order food. I hope they give us some discount.
Right then, Dad came in, all smiles.
Hello? Everybody?
Oh, did you get our money back?
Nope. I found a job. I'm going back to selling insurance, and once I make some good commission, I'll start trading again and get all the money that we lost.
Well, Daddy's plan didn't follow through the way he saw it. 3 months went by and we were still struggling, and the only thing Dad could afford was food. So I decided it was time to get a part-time job as a waitress.
But Rose, if you work as a waitress, everyone in school will know.
Yes, I know, but maybe if I work I can help Dad pay for the Wi-Fi. Lucy immediately smiled, but she wouldn't dare try to get a job since she cared so much about what people would think. The restaurant I worked at was a classy place where all the rich and mighty dine. And one day, while I served a bunch of top-class businessmen, I overheard their discussion about new digital devices. I got excited and couldn't contain myself. I have plenty of ideas for new devices. Imagine having a portable hard drive is something almost like an iPod, but with more space. That way, users will be able to carry all of their important information on one small iPod. We could even make it have a video presentation for business meetings. After I was done babbling, they looked at me, stunned. Then the tall man with a big forehead was so rude.
You can just get our order, please.
I walked away, feeling embarrassed, and then the next worst thing happened when I waited at my next table. They were girls from my school who envied my sister and me all the time, and the worst of them all was Charlotte.
Wow, you work as a waiter? Ha 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 ha, this must be my lucky day. Wait, I have to take a picture of this.
Oh, Charlotte, get over yourself. I work here and earn my own money, unlike you, a spoiled brat forever.
Ugh, that's no way to talk to your customers. Where's the manager? I want to file a complaint.
He's out to lunch, so can I take your order? It was the most dreadful day of my life, but the next day when I went to school, everyone called me Waiter Girl. Since Charlotte posted my picture on Instagram, and during recess, while Lucy and I were minding our own business, Charlotte started being so annoying with her stupid minions.
We've noticed that you two bring lunches to school these days. Should we open up a charity fund dedicated to the richest in the school? Oh, let me rephrase. The poor, smelly girls of the school.
Shut up, Chatroulette. Lucy got up, angrily clenching her fist, and I calmed her down. Don't worry about her, Lucy. She's just a jealous girl who has no goals.
At least my goal is not to be a waiter. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, your goal is probably to be a brainless peanut all your life since you get big fat zeros on all of your tests. Charlotte eventually left us alone, but then after school, Dad picked us up in a rundown car, and Charlotte got the entire school to come and watch us get in it.
Oh my gosh, where did your dad buy this junk from?
At that point, I had had enough of Charlotte's farty face. Just leave me and my family alone. Our financial life is none of your business. Dad was shocked when we got home, and he told us that his contract at work was about to end. So he sold his Land Rover and got us a scrappy car. Life was getting even worse for us. I put on my waiter clothes and got out of the house to work an extra shift. While I was at the restaurant, I found my manager watching Luna Avatar. Wow, you like Luna Avatar?
Yeah. Is that a problem?
No problem. I was just surprised.
There was a guy who came looking for you. He left his number.
When I called the number, a part of me was hoping it was Greg calling to say he was sorry and he wanted to give us all our money back. But it wasn't. Hello, you were looking for me at the restaurant.
Yes, our investors liked your pitch that you suddenly decided to blurt out while you were serving our table. We have an offer for you if you could put all those ideas on paper.
Yes, I can. I left my extra shift. I went home and started putting ideas together for new devices. I didn't want to say anything to my family yet. I just wanted to get the offer first. The next day, I met with those business people again, and I was blown out of my mind when they told me I was going to get $100,000. I was on cloud 9. I immediately signed the contract, and they even asked me to stay in contact if I had any other ideas. I couldn't believe this was actually happening, and when I showed my family the check, we celebrated all night.
Rose, you just saved our lives.
Does this mean we can get our chef back? Because I'm getting really tired of eating baked beans every day.
Not just yet. Dad needs to first work his magic on the trading platform, and then maybe. I was so happy to see my family relaxed again. Lucy wanted us to go shopping the next day since all of our heels were starting to lose their texture. 2 pairs, and that's it, right? We need to use all this money wisely.
Yes, I know. But what if I see a third pair that I like?
Lucy! Just before we could head off to the mall, Dad screamed from the living room.
Rose, you have to see this.
When I went to check what he was talking about, the news was on, and Gregory was handcuffed and sentenced to prison for the next 20 years for being one of the biggest fraudsters in the city. And the parents that he said were his parents were just actors. I felt so relieved. And Dad eventually got a call from the credit card company with good news: all his money would be returned. Soon after that, I completed school, got my degree in computer science, and became the next richest person in our city. And then, one day I even had my own business meeting at that classy restaurant.
Can I take your order?
Charlotte, you work here now?
Yes. So, can I take your order?
I didn't laugh or insult her because there's really nothing wrong with being a waitress. We all have to start somewhere if we want to make it.